Alright, folks, getting into game number 1 of the best of 5. It's the losers match for the TING Open, and somebody is going to get eliminated. Spawning in the upper left side of the map, if you're a Terran, you better hope it's not him, because we've got MajOr, who's actually using... Whoa, step back. I just noticed his name's actually MajOr.
Mm-hmm. In the bottom left, is the cheesy blue Zerg. He's VoltZ.
VoltZ, by the way, getting into using all the emotes with MajOr in the break while we're at my MajOr. Just kind of spamming all in chat. So I really like that he did the emote for good luck, have fun. But yeah, so the early pull, early gas comes down, and this isn't super shocking on Arena, but I'm wondering what type this is. If it's just speedlings and it's going to even be banelings, I'm kind of rolling my eyes. But if this is for that sort of Ravager pressure we've been seeing a lot of on this map, I really like it.
Okay, so this is going to be really funny. As you said, still don't know quite what plan VoltZ has, but obviously MajOr going for 3 racks Marine is, usually be like, this never works. But against someone who's going for 1 base Roaches, the production might be better for MajOr. 1 Marine and 1 Roach, obviously the Roach wins, but it's going to be 3 at a time Marines versus maybe 6 Roaches, and then very, very slowly 7 and then 8. So I don't know. I could tell you what wins between a 1 base Baneling or 1 base pool versus a 2 racks.
Well, so this is where every time we see a 3 racks come down, period, it loses. But that's when it's in proxy, like in the middle of the map, and it's the same build, same dedication, same all in. Maybe it looks a little bit different here at home. I'm going to find out. If that Marine, by the way, is rallied to the inside of the barracks, it looks like MajOr did change his rally point. They'll be safe from those lings. Then I just lift up that barracks and unleash fury. But as these lings get into the main, it's not so problematic. Marines have already taken most of them down.
Yep. I mean, you wanted to take them out. Then go into the Overlord. Now, it's going to be risky a little bit because, the Roaches, how quickly are they on the way? But he gets rid of that Overlord. The Ravagers aren't a problem at all. And MajOr's probably already won, because MajOr has 20 SCVs. VoltZ has 13 drones. This actually does not look very good at all for this Zerg.
The Ravagers are supposed to be accompanied by that Overlord. They need the high ground vision. Losing the Lings was acceptable. Losing the Overlord, not so much. Because now he has to actually walk up this ramp to hit anything, and to do that gets in range of the Marines, and that's where this falls apart. So I almost want to say GG with that first Ravager getting killed like that.
I think it is already game. We just never have seen this situation, but it looks like my guess about production was basically right. Like, VoltZ doesn't have that many Roaches. In fact, it was less than I thought. It wasn't even 6. It was 3 into 2 Ravagers. If you ever had the question, what works, 3 racks Marines or a Roach Ravager rush? Now we know.
I am not convinced that determines which of those 2 works. That was just handled poorly out of VoltZ, in my opinion.
How could he handle that better?
If the Overlord wasn't dead, maybe the Ravagers actually get to do some damage. Because it's 1 base versus 1 base where a Terran player is sitting there with over half of his production in a compromised location.
Well, because he would still have the same amount of Marines. Like, he didn't even need the bunker, and the Ravagers would never get shots down on Marines that are able to move.
I don't know, man. I'm not convinced that that's like a definitive, guys, this determines everything. But it obviously determined that game. And we'll go into map number 2. So, Dusk Towers. We'll get the preview up for this one really quick. Everyone in chat said about pizza. Oh, God, I haven't had pizza in so long. It's been like 2 months since I've had pizza. I want pizza.
Really?
Dude, trying to eat right and all this other shit sucks. All I do is walk by pizza places all the time, and it smells so good. I just want to go in and eat like a whole pizza.
You can have pizza as long as it fits your calories.
No. Because there's no way I'm eating just 1 slice of pizza.
Oh, of course you can't only eat 1 slice of pizza.
And that's the only way it's going to fit my calories, man.
If you get a small pizza, I bet you could fit calories in that.
No way, homie. I think I'd rather just eat. Yeah. I'd rather just eat a lot of other stuff than 1 or 2 slices of pizza.
No, what I like to do, right, is like if I have Korean barbecue, I really hate having it for dinner because that's just keeping all my calories for dinner. That's fucking impossible. But if I have it for lunch, and mind you, I wake up at like 10 or 11, so lunch is breakfast for me.
Before you finish the story.
I'm usually full.
Well, before you finish the story, I just want to comment, like, you're going to get no sympathy from me on this because I am not that situation. I haven't felt full in like 2 months. No. It sucks.
Okay, well, whatever. Go into the map intro.
Yeah, those towers.
That's my point.
See you guys in a sec. And for the record, I didn't miss your point. I was just more complaining about being really friggin' hungry. I wanted some pizza. But, ladies and gentlemen, my personal woes aside, game number 2. Map 1 went to this gentleman in the bottom left. His control looked fantastic, his Marines are great. It's the Red Terran, Invasions Major.
And top right, as the loser, it's VoltZ.
Shout out to Crunch Jamin. Again, almost misread the name when I saw it in chat the first time. Now the 5th time. Thank you so much.
Well, anyway, regardless of food discussions, because now, of course, we want food.
Yo, actually, no, let's back up for a second.
Okay,
we
fine.
stopped doing North American focused content a while ago. So I haven't actually had to worry about being in this situation time-wise for food. And of course, every time we cast on the West Coast, it's terrible because it's always going to run over lunch or dinner for me. I don't have normal lunch or dinner times anymore. And I totally adjusted to the lunch one. You know, running a tournament from 10 till about 2 or 3, you don't get to eat for like 5 hours in between. Okay, fine. I am now learning that I have no idea. I don't remember how I used to handle this.
Wait, so what? You eat lunch after the cast, which is for you 2 or 3.
Yeah.
When do you usually eat dinner?
I don't really have like a dinner. I eat like lots of small things.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, because if I was in your spot, it actually still isn't dinner time for me if I was in the Pacific. So I was just curious as to when you usually eat dinner and why you're so hungry.
I'm so hungry because I made the mistake of going on a monster walk for the cast and not eating beforehand.
Okay. Well, that definitely explains it. Okay. Regardless, very unlikely for another cheese like that to happen. The fact that Arena was played first is also just unlikely in general. I believe that was Major's choice? Oh wait, no, B went first, so it was VoltZ's choice. Yeah, they did it differently. I don't know why, but VoltZ really wanted to do AB, veto, and then BA, BA, choose.
I mean, whatever floats your boat. Luckily, we're pretty flexible for the TING Open. It's not a huge problem. Shout out, by the way, to Jehovany for the 7-month resub. Thank you so much for the resubs, guys. Reaper gets a decent grenade shot, but really, Major for this Reaper needed to scout that natural, I'd say, more than anything else. Because right now, this still could, like from what he's seen, maybe be that greedy 3-base opener. He doesn't know whether speed's early or late as a consequence of a 3rd hatchery possibly being down. So, almost losing that Reaper. 1 health remains. Are you serious? But yeah, it doesn't get back here to see that this is actually just 2 bases for the time being. Speed's going to finish up soon, and that might be the signal, like, okay, if Speed's done now, then he didn't have the money to spend on the 3rd hatchery, but still, question marks have got to be in his head.
Yeah. I actually have a Hellbat all-in on the way. Something that, you know, is, like, seriously hit or miss. Sometimes you run into people who are going for roaches, and it really doesn't work out. Sometimes you meet people who remember how to defend against it with just lings and queens, and it doesn't work out. And then sometimes you meet people who may even have a roach warrant, like VoltZ will, but they just don't build enough roaches early on, and the Hellbats still do a lot of damage.
I just had a co-op mission revelation here.
Uh-huh.
There's no commander currently that can build Reapers. And they had the Donnie Vermilion map come out, which would probably have been cool to have Reapers on. Rip, no Terran commanders.
Sure.
Sorry, Armory's done. Hellbat's pushing. Liberator following this up. You know, actual in-game things. It's not going to get better from this, guys. I'm going to have to make a sandwich or something during one of the longer breaks. But, yeah, this push is going to be pretty scary. VoltZ isn't quite ready for it. Like, he's got the means through roaches, but he doesn't have the numbers through queens or lings, really. And those 4 Marines are going to do a lot of damage. X-ray Hellions coming from the backside. Would have loved if he actually didn't transform them and just chased around the drones. But either way, these Hellbats have pretty much not been touched through this entire attack.
Yeah. And this is kind of that situation I was talking about. Sometimes you have a roach warren, but you just didn't make a lot of roaches. You start to make a lot of roaches, like 9 is not a small number, but even then they run into the Hellbat splash, and they're still, you know, taking a lot of damage. Nice
pickup control out of Major. Another part of this, too, is let's not forget with the Queens having been picked off over the roaches, there's not really going to be much to deal with the Liberator follow-up to this. Like, yes, there's a Spore Crawler here and there, but the Liberator should be able to just kind of camp on top of these mineral lines outside of it. Now, it looks like VoltZ is starting to clean this up, and it's worth noting for Major, he didn't really kill a lot of workers through this. But this is where that remaining bio, can just push back the Spore Crawler. Queens are on the way. Larva's gonna get denied. This has certainly got to be annoying for VoltZ. It's still like not even that bad yet, but the fact is the army's been screwed.
Oh, it's really bad. I mean, sure, all the drones aren't dead, but you gotta consider that for the last minute and a half, VoltZ hasn't been making any more drones. And he's used all of his larvae on other things.
That's
so
very
even when
true,
everything is like said and done,
look at pick up out of Majors.
Still can't build any drones, or not very many rather.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to express, like, I know people are making like, oh, where's Major like Gold League comps and he's fighting versus Neeb? Completely turns that around here versus VoltZ. Like, this for me just again exemplifies how good Neeb was, not how bad Major was.
Yeah.
Like, Major is rocking it here, and it's not because he hit with his all-in that VoltZ wasn't ready for, and he wasn't. It's because his control's been so good through it.
This has spiraled to like game over territory.
Yeah,
Major
I
has his
agree.
third on location, and while he doesn't have the follow-up army with Stim quite ready, eventually he will, and eventually he'll probably steamroll.
You know what's bad? When the first Reaper you made in the game got down to 1 health, and it doesn't get cleaned up till 6.5 minutes after 2 Liberators die. Like, that's... That's a marker for that drop. The medevac gets out alive was actually a huge aspect of this, because now he can continue making more Liberators. Obviously, he'll want some more medevacs at a point, but now he can shuffle that tank around. Just so much of this is actually going quite swimmingly for Major, and a lot of it extends beyond like what is currently on the field, and a lot has to do with this section of the production tab of what's coming up next. Weapon upgrades, armor upgrades, statement combat shields galore. VoltZ at the time these all complete is going to have like maybe a handful of roaches, a couple of ravagers, no banelings, no zerglings, nothing that can really contest this.
Major has been winning the income advantage graph so hard.
Oh, I'm scared to look. I'm scared to... Oh, it's all red.
Yeah, it's all red, so... it's all gonna spiral soon enough. VoltZ, unfortunately, like, there's not much he can do. He doesn't have a Spire finishing up so that he can do some, like, super awesome micro with it. And even then, Liberators have really reduced the amount of Muta comebacks in this matchup. And just Roaches is an easy numbers game. Like, even Corrosive Biles won't be a ton of. I'm gonna pick up the tank, start doing as much damage as possible before he does the main push with Stim. Cool. If he wants to.
Oh, someone brought up you can't build ghosts either. Oh, Reapers and Ghosts would be so cost ineffective, but Nova would be a really cool commander for co-op.
Well, I mean, they're gonna come up with new co-op.
Actually, when does the new Nova missions? Is that the end of this year?
You asking me?
Yeah, oh, you're right. Silly me. God, I feel stupid sometimes.
I have no idea.
I still haven't tried that new Donny Vermilion map. I really want to, though. The new one with the lava that rises and sinks. I wonder how tough that's going to be. Oh, nice pickup out of VoltZ. It's a small detail, but I mean, it kept the queen alive.
Yeah, this is kind of cool.
Gonna drop them on top of the tanks. This is a very unique way to deal with this because even if you shuffle the tanks around, the medevac can actually get picked off by those queens. But as cool as that is, there's not a lot to stop these drops. Now, they'll be thwarted out of the main initially, but if he just unloads everything and consolidates with the push on those tanks, I think it'll be just dandy.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Stim's on combat shields though, and Major's got 1-1 on his side. 2 queens.
Bye-bye.
No. There really should be something where like overlords drop corpses of units. I don't know. Like.
Ugh, gross. StarCraft 3 physics. Don't you worry.
StarCraft 3. Now who looks stupid?
Dude, RTSs are coming back. Didn't you hear E3? I can't believe how many tweets there were from like a couple people that I follow about how like RTS is making a comeback.
Oh, because Halo Wars or whatever got announced. Yeah.
Halo Wars and something else.
Dawn of War, I think.
Maybe, yeah, something.
Marine's gonna give chase back into this. VoltZ. It's too bad Kerrigan left to become a god or whatever fire thing, Zelnaga, because she's not here with the swarm, and he really needed her.
I was reaching.
So was that storyline, am I right?
Yeah.
I'm so snarky tonight. God damn it.
I mean, I absolutely agree.
All right, well, this front line not looking so hot for VoltZ. The Evolution Chamber is going to buy him a little more time. Maybe Changelings help soak some of these hits, but ultimately, even with really good Corrosive Bile hits, which he's not getting, the Fungal Growth combo was nice. I love the idea of what he's moving towards, but he's dying with 13, 1400 minerals in the bank, and this is largely in part just due to those queens all being in the front lines. No injects going on, nothing to work with on that money. Major doesn't exactly go crazy ham with this first wave, but here's round 2.
That is a very difficult round to clean up. He has a 4th base on the way. His upgrades finishing up, and his tanks never died. So it's a lot of splash. GG.
All right, MajOr takes a 2-0 lead here in the losers match. We're gonna pop off to a small ad break, just 2 minutes. We'll get game 3 set up, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys soon. I gotta give a shout out to fellow Snarkster in chat, Ganoiden. Wow, Riff, Kerrigan might have left to become a burning flaming god, but you're the one with the sick burns tonight. Oh,
so
it's not 2 to 5. 1 sec. There we go. Sorry. the awkward pause because I pressed the wrong button. But anyways, I do appreciate dumb cleverness when available. What?
I made a funny in chat. Okay, turn off.
You guys want to be like the ancient Egyptians?
Uh-oh.
I don't get it. Where's the follow-up?
Oh, good.
What,
They're just using hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics. Okay, I'm done. Go on.
Oh, because you turn only emote on afterwards. You're so not as clever as you think you are. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Panic Switch, for the 23-month resub. We're getting into game number 3 for the losers match, and he's 1 win away from knocking his opponent out of the tournament. In the top left side, we've got the blue Terran. It's Invasion's MajOr.
In the bottom right says the red Zerg. He's VoltZ.
And I guarantee you there's not a single person in chat who got your silly joke until you probably had to explain it on stream, like to me.
Maybe not. Someone guessed because they're extinct, and I could have banned that person.
Because they're extinct. What a hilarious punchline!
Also, Egyptians aren't extinct.
No, they're not. You're right.
Hey
guys. What happened to the dinosaurs?
Also, dinosaurs aren't actually extinct.
They went extinct.
Hey, you guys want to hear a joke about cows?
Stop it! You already told us on stream. You can't tell the same joke twice, man.
Oh, okay, yeah, alright. I'm sure in the 3 years we've been casting together, you have told the same joke multiple times.
What's a pirate's favorite letter?
And
Okay, actually, here's a little word game. Are you ready for this? Wait, do you watch? I don't remember. Do you watch Bo Burnham at all?
No, what the hell is that?
He's a comedian. You'll like this. Okay, so you just gotta finish what I'm saying. So, for example, peanut butter and
Bananas.
come on, come on.
Jelly.
Okay, so peanut butter and jelly, blackened,
Blue?
white.
Black and white? No.
Okay, you're struggling. Let me help you with this last one. All right, this is the type of flavor of chips. Okay, salt and
Vinegar.
No.
What?
Just say the part I don't say. So salt and
Vinegar.
So bad at this. It's failing me because you're so bad at this.
Am I really so bad at this, or am I so great at this?
All right, grenades going off. We're done with you. We're done with you. Reaper gets popped off at the top of the cliff, and VoltZ does hold off against the early attack. But I mean, it's a Reaper, and it's not meant to accomplish much. What's much more alarming, and hopefully he'll scout this with this very nice speedy Overlord, is going to be the medevac drop that follows it with a tank. This can be really annoying on Frozen Temple, and a lot of it has to do with the micro capability of the Terran, but also these rocks that get placed over here and the ways you can abuse the terrain to avoid getting cleaned up. This SCB I'm a little bit curious about, though. This was intentionally sent along the far side of the map to just try and sneak around. I'm wondering what he's doing with it.
It would be cool to see a bunker put down along with that push we do usually see on the 3rd base, but it might just be for advanced scouting. Oh, no, it is for a bunker. Yeah, cool. So this might change it from doing a lot of damage to the 3rd base and maybe killing a couple of queens to actually killing the 3rd base, and that would be pretty big. VoltZ has the opportunity to cancel it, something not usually afforded to other builds. You probably should, too. There's no getting rid of this bunker now.
The bunker is kind of questionable as far as its effectiveness. I mean, it's going to extend the line. Oh, never mind. The SCV gets picked off, and that's that.
Wow.
But all the queens out of position. roaches all on the low ground, nothing actually to defend the main, so these Marines still might get some pretty good kills. Let's not forget, there's another drop following this up. I thought this was immediately going to be into the tank, but if he drops this off at that third base, he can certainly kill that while things in the main die and try and get cleaned up. VoltZ has brought everything back here to try and defend. Meanwhile, this tank and Marine Force just has to wait to push in, and that hatchery is sure to die. Woodenmine gets a nice hit on that roach. It's going to be low. Softened up. Natural base under attack now, too. VoltZ has to look in so many different directions. I love this Overlord trick once again to try and drag queens on top of drops. This is actually something I would love to see other pros try and emulate. I think it's a really cool move.
The third did go down, and I agree that was actually a really cool move. Could have saved the drones too, either or. But the third went down. The Marines died for it, but the tank's still alive. Medevac's still alive. That's what's important, and that is a big blow to VoltZ.
Are cows extinct? Asks chat. Well, they will be if you meat eaters keep at it. But if you switch to being a vegan, you'll be. No, I'm done with that already. Tank gonna have to get picked up once again. This is something where MajOr, by the way, could still keep up the pressure. He doesn't have his reinforcements coming yet, but he's got a couple more tanks, and rallying everything behind the rock wall wouldn't be too problematic. Panic Switch says he wishes he'd go back in time and cancel his sub. Alright, Queen's gonna put some of this creep down. This base still being held. 7 drones died. Liberty came in on this side. It's gonna be cleaned up by those. Oh! One of the Corsair Battles, 2 of the Corsair Battles missed, excuse me. So that's actually a bit of a problem now for VoltZ, as he's still bled out a couple more workers and losing some mining.
This is all looking pretty damn good for MajOr, with all this harassment killing the third base, but upgrades still hadn't been started. Only just now, so only a couple seconds. And that's potentially a lot of time either for VoltZ to recover or to try and just start a huge all-in. But as he's still droning, still trying to get his third base, I think it's just gonna be him recovering from this.
I'm surprised his Woodenmine still hasn't been dealt with. Finally, that Spore Crawler's gonna come in, and while this hasn't killed a lot, it's done a lot of damage.
Yeah. Spore Crawler's gonna get another shot. I think it'll reach that drone.
Look, just because you don't say the joke on stream doesn't mean you should go type it in chat for the audience to see.
Someone was like, I didn't hear this joke. Tell me the cow joke. Okay?
I actually like Mr. Furkle. It's like the stakes are too high.
Yeah, it's actually a Reddit joke, and the comment chains were just very punny. So, it behooves me to ask you this. Oh, no, I won't do it. Anyway.
Can you just move on already?
The push, actually this isn't the push, this is 3 tanks, but it will be followed up by the push. The stem is about 75% done.
Would you say he's trying to attack from the flank? Are we not gonna do this? You don't want to play fun games? Whatever.
I don't want to play fun games.
You're utterly ridiculous.
Shut up. Anyway. This seems like it's going to be too much. MajOr had to wait for that stem. It was a good chance for VoltZ to try and get a good army, and he's got a decent one with a concave here. But going through the choke, through the ramp, not going to be too great against 6 tanks. That's quite a lot. Do you know that there are some places in the world that don't even know what salt and vinegar chips are? It's like ketchup chips. Oh, that's a cool move! Oh, that's a really cool move. And actually worked out. Kills at least half of the tanks, kills enough of the Marines, and VoltZ is gonna push this back.
You're the one who asked me to shut up. I never asked you to be quiet. What was that? Sorry, was that the wind? Did anyone else hear that sound? The whoosh sort of sound.
The whoosh.
All right, big attack on the left side. I agree. That was a really cool move. Like, I will take this from VoltZ. Regardless of how he does in the series, because it's not looking good score-wise, I really actually, in 2 different instances, have really liked and respected that sort of queen drop, but now leading to like that Ravager drop follow-up. Really cool stuff to see. Not easy to pull off when there's a lot of Marines on the front lines, but if you want to break tanks, walking into them is the least preferential option most of the time.
I want to say that VoltZ, whenever he's been allowed to get to a macro game, so basically this game and last game, his Overlord spread has been very good. He has units and creep spread all over the place. He'll know when Mage is attacking. But the problem isn't a surprise, it's just the quality of units. And with the tanks ever getting to a good position, unless those drops can do something about it, they're going to win out. Upgrades are not quite close to finishing, but getting there as well. And VoltZ is kind of all in on that aspect.
These Overlords have Roaches and Ravagers in them. Losing that first one for free really sucked. Ravager's also now hitting his own units as he chases into the Marines. Corsair Bows were friendly fire, unfortunately. And while you might get some Roaches dropping top of the tank, no, he won't even do that. That's just the army and likely the game shortly following this up. I think 17 more Roaches on the way, and production's nice, but it's Roaches, and as we see, Roaches don't work. GG gets called, and MajOr will advance on to the finals of the group. So hold on now with a 3-0. Very nicely done. That being said, that's probably our greatest cast of all time. Like, thank you for joining me for this time. Always a pleasure. Always just
You're welcome.
Feel honored to be in your presence.
Are we done? Can I hang up now?
The presents that Santa Claus doesn't deliver because he's not real.
Yeah, whoops.
You've been a real asshole today, man.
I hope those 4-year-old kids that watch our channel.
We have parents. We have parents who watch this. You know that. You gotta clean up your act, girl. You're too wild. You're too crazy. You're too loose, zombie grub. You're a loose cannon. I want your hand in, your badge, and your gun on my desk. And we'll see you guys after this ad break.